Hello there. This video is going to be a segment of what I'm going to call the Tinfoil Hat Chronicles. This one I'm going to explore into the prospects that a cell phone can kill you, the modern day smartphone. I think the most effective way they could go about killing someone with a smartphone is when it's fully charged, that through a remote system they can enact an electrical shock when the person is operating the phone in a conversation. Because the phone will be right up next to your ear, right up next to your head. And I do believe there is enough power in these smartphones to kill a person, or at least cause permanent brain damage. Now, this is an aspect you just know the military is exploring. The days of James Bond with his fancy watches, his gimmicks in his car, and explosive pens and all the other goofy things they've had over the years, they're not over. They're a lot less tacky than they used to be, but it's still the same game. And although the cat would be out of the bag if it did happen and the mainstream media reported it, but if they're gonna bump someone off for, I don't know, being a potential terrorist, or because they're expressing views they don't like, or any reason, whatever, maybe they're a high-ranking mafia member or something, who knows, and they plan on covering up their murder anyway, then the idea that they would put in this fail-safe into these phones so they would have the ability to bump somebody off real quick if they wanted to, sounds more and more plausible. Now, I don't think the modern day smartphone that people have right now has that particular design within the phone. But I'm saying it's more than possible to create a smartphone with that kind of power to electrically shock someone to death if they have it up to their ear. Maybe even enough if they just have it in their pocket. I mean, nobody really knows how these phones are built. I mean, they're all built in Asia, but that's not the point. I mean, the people who manufacture these phones don't even know, because there's a difference between the people who are making the components and the people who are putting these components together, and there are different components that are made in different places, and it's all designed so that nobody knows what's going on. It's like back in World War II, when the Nazis had treasure, they would send one group of people to go hide the treasure, then they would send another group to kill that group that hid the treasure, and then they would send another group to kill the group that killed the group who hid the treasure, so that nobody would know anything, because they killed the people before. And that's the same thing with, well, the same sort of idea with the manufacturing of smartphones and computers in general. I mean, it would be far-fetched to say that somebody knows exactly how to build a smartphone from scratch. There's probably a few people, but not many. Most people who build these things know their specific task in building the phone, and that's it. So, yeah, in conclusion, I think it's quite probable that smartphones in the future will have that ability to electrically shock someone to death. I mean, I'm sure there's other things they could do, like it could be a tracking beacon for a missile or something like that, or they could put a gun in the phone, but those are a little bit far-fetched and tacky. So I don't think that's going to happen. And explosives, I don't think they could build one effective enough for the phone, but I think an electric shock, totally plausible, totally could happen. Um, well, that was one idea floating around my head. I actually wanted to make a tinfoil hat for the Tinfoil Hat Chronicles. I'll do that in later episodes. But I want one of those hats that Weird Al Yankovic had in foil, which was a pretty good music video. But I haven't found a source that tells me how to build a tinfoil hat like his. I mean, I'm sure it's not hard, but I don't want to waste tinfoil, trying and failing. Anyway, that's irrelevant. I'll get to that a bit later. Anyway, see you guys later.